Hey everybody, we're back.
How are you?
Happy Wednesday.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Another Wednesday, Alice.
It's that time again.
Yeah, it is.
I'm telling you, my week just revolves around Wednesday now. It's
Yeah,
I don't
time
know,
to.
I don't know what it represents, if it's like the end or the beginning, but
It's the end of the beginning, is what it is. Hey, COVID times are weird, you know. It's kind of like Groundhog Day. Every day seems to be the same, but hopefully there's a light at the end of the tunnel in a lot of ways. So we're glad to be here.
we
Absolutely.
are, and we're so excited to be welcoming our good friend Tret Fure to the show today. Tret is a wonderful folk singer-songwriter. I've only known her for, I would say, a year now. I think we met at the last NERFA for the first time down in Stamford, Connecticut, but Freebo's known Tret for a long time.
She and I met, I would say, 49 years ago.
Is that all?
Come January or February, yeah, we met in, I think it was 1972, January, February 1972, and
Where
yeah.
at? What were the
At-
circumstances?
at
Maybe
the-
you guys
at-
can talk about that.
we will.
We won't give it away. Let's bring her
put her
in.
on, and
Okay.
we'll talk about where we met and what's going on, and where she was at, and where she's at now, and all of it. So,
Okay, here she is.
where is she?
Hey, Tret.
There she is.
Hey.
Hey, Tret.
49 years is right. It was 1972.
It
Yeah.
was,
Wow.
and I believe it was at the Fanny Mansion, right?
It was. It was on Fanny Hill. It was
Fanny
on
Hill,
Fanny
which,
Hill.
which sounds really funny.
Which was Hedy Lamar's house. That the band, the first really famous, well-known all-women rock and roll band lived.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And
Where?
Bonnie used to
where was
come
that?
by. Freebo used to come by. It was in the Hollywood Hills in Los
Okay.
Yeah.
Angeles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were
Yeah.
you living there at the time, Tret?
Yes, I was. I was.
Okay.
June Millington was my partner at the time, and we.
Yes.
So I was. Yeah, we were there all the time.
Oh,
And
cool.
Freebo would come by, and
I would, and Bonnie,
know,
and Lowell George.
Lowell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Was
was
it-
pretty amazing times.
Was that
I
Gene
bet.
or June who was your partner?
June.
June.
June, yeah. Awesome
Yeah.
guitar player. Amazing.
Oh.
rock and
Yeah,
roll
no,
guitar.
hey,
Still,
there was
still, yeah.
it was an amazing band, really, and
Yeah.
like you say, with at least the first known all women band.
And what was
Exactly.
this?
Might have been some
fill
others,
fill
but-
me in. What is this? The name of this band?
Fanny.
The name of the
I'm-
band was
Yeah,
Fanny.
Fanny. Yeah.
Fanny.
Okay.
It was June and Jean Millington and Nikki Barclay and Alice DeBure. They were all. I mean, they were on Warner Brothers Records, as was Little Feat and Bonnie.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was on Warner Brothers in those days, except me. But they just were phenomenal, and they were. They had major success. They had a management company that pushed them, and they traveled the world. They were really incredible. You should check them out because there's a lot of history out there about them. And in fact, they just did another album, like a reunion album. So yeah,
Wow, are they all still? Is this the original four?
it was the original four. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, no,
Wow.
I take that back. It was three of the four. Nikki Barclay kind of disappeared. She went to England, and no one's heard from her since. So, but it was June and Jean and Alice, the drummer, and
Yeah, I remember
another
Alice as
keyboard
being.
player.
Alice was, I think, the first badass woman drummer that I had
Absolutely.
heard back
Wow.
then. I mean,
Yeah.
she whacked them. It was great.
She did.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Well,
Yeah.
And you were doing your music back then, and I mean
was,
it's
yeah.
it's so interesting to have seen how much you've grown, and as we all have, but just really come. You've always had a beautiful voice, and in a way, you reminded both Bonnie and me of Karen Carpenter.
Right.
You sang a little bit that
Yeah.
way. You sang very straight.
Yep. Very just sort of. I listened to Judy Collins, so I had a very pure kind of soprano towards alto voice. Now I'm just like alto all the way.
You've sunk into yourself.
hey, own it.
Yeah.
Own those low
No,
notes.
but when I listen to that first album, which I do from time to time, because people still love. My first album, Lowell George produced, and it was on
Right.
Uni Records, and
Right.
it was sort of a cult. I had a cult following from that, which I didn't know about till later. But I had a real delicate voice, and it's like I listened to it and think, oh my God, and the songs were young and naive, but but it's like people take music no matter how bad you think it is, people like own these things. So I can't ever say, oh, that was a horrible album, because I put it out and people love it. So I have to love it too.
It's so true. I find that I made a record when I was 18 at the end of high school, and some of my friends still have it, and they're like, oh, I just wish you would bring those songs back. And I'm
oh God, I know, yeah.
Really? Like, still, I guess that'll be happening to me in 50 years if I'm lucky.
It does. Yeah, it does.
But hey, I mean, I guess it's good for the ego, or it
keeps you humble and honest.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's also something in a way. It's apples and oranges. I mean, we know how we've grown as artists and quote improved in our own heads and learned our licks and learned more. But again, for other people, it's like you listen to like an early Elton John song or early James Taylor. I mean, in a way, James is a much better singer now than he was, in his first record. But you still listen to it, and it's just different. Same with Bonnie.
Yeah, it's evocative for people. The songs are evocative. It brings you back to a time in history.
Yeah.
Music evokes memories more than anything, with the exception of food. Those are the two
smell.
things
And maybe smell.
Smell. That's what I meant. I didn't mean food.
Yeah.
I meant smell.
No,
well, food is taste, which comes from smell.
That's
smell and music. That's good for a group.
Good smell.
It's true. I mean, people. I had a sort of a punk rock album in '86, and the most popular song was "Tight Black Jeans," and still to this day, people come to my shows. Well, they used to. And they asked for "Tight Black Jeans," and I was like, "That's an old rock song, and I have no interest in playing it." I don't say that, but I say it's rock and roll. I don't play rock and roll anymore. But that song was a pivotal point, especially for women in the '80s, when women were coming into their own. And it's like, play "Tight Black Jeans." No.
Right. They want to go back.
They want to go back. They want to relive that time.
It's a good memory, and that's such an honor. I mean,
it is an honor. It totally is an honor. Yeah.
We're so lucky that we get to invoke, not for others and for ourselves. I mean, there are songs of mine that are so cathartic for me every time. Like I kind of get to relive the way I felt when I wrote it, and
absolutely, yeah.
Well, Tret, we won't ask you to play "Tight Black Jeans," but
oh, thank you.
And I don't know what you're wearing right now, but
I know.
I usually am wearing
maybe
black
she has
jeans,
them
but
on.
I have gray jeans on tonight.
a little looser, no doubt, than it used to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, why don't you play a song, and then we can talk a little bit more about your career, and then we'll kind of do a little bit of this round robin thing we love to do.
Start us off.
Sounds fabulous.
Great.
All right, great.
Here we go.
So I'm going to play for you the title song of my brand new CD that has been out for just a few weeks now. And the album is called Stone by Stone, as is this song. I had a life, it seemed so beautiful. I had a home, it was quite large. There were 2 horses and a studio, a great big fireplace, and I built the barn. 7 acres in the country. In '93 my mother died. For 7 years, somewhat numbly, we walked the pasture, stride by stride. It is amazing that life continues, and stone by stone we move along. I have a new life, it too is beautiful, and I keep the old inside my song. I had a life, I lived in Madison, I had a home, and it was small, but it was cozy. It had a lot of sun, and I raked the leaves come every fall. For 10 good years, a until our lost love left me cold. I shoveled snow and did it all alone, and I kept my chin up, both brave and bold. It is amazing that life continues, and stone by stone we move along. I have a new life, it too is beautiful, and I keep the old inside my songs. Now I have a life near the ocean. I've traveled far for another shot, and I have children and great commotion, and a wife. Who would have thought? In all my years and all these miles and all the shoes that I have worn, there is renewal once in a while. We die a little to be reborn. It is amazing how life continues, and stone by stone we move along. I have a new life, it too is beautiful, and I keep the old inside my songs.
Wow.
We die a little to be reborn.
Oh man, Tret, I just had chills on so many of the lines in that song. That was
Thank you. Thank you.
really beautiful.
Really, yeah, gorgeous. I mean, and just listening to your voice now, I mean, talk about owning. You've always had that beautiful voice, but it's so, you're so much from your head into your body.
Oh yeah,
now.
that's my soul now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Definitely.
just
Yeah.
beautiful, and talk about a wonderfully intimate, honest, autobiographical song. I
Exactly.
mean,
Yeah.
they know that's your story, and you're telling it, and there's nothing to be either proud or ashamed about. It just
Right.
is what it is, and you're owning it, and what a happy ending.
I know.
Yeah,
I love you said,
Yeah.
and a wife. Who would have thought? I mean,
yeah, it's true.
That must be
Never
kind
thought
of
in my
amazing
lifetime.
and that's you never thought that would be a
Ever be
possibility for you.
possible. No,
Wow.
definitely not. No.
When did
Or
you
to
get
have
married?
children,
Yeah,
or to have
yeah.
children, you know.
Right.
So
How
yeah.
many children do you have, and when did you get
Four,
married?
but we got together in 2011, and we got married in 2015. And the kids are all adults now, but there's still one at home. But still, you know, it's 11 years ago they were not all adults, and it was. I never thought in my life I'd have kids. I never wanted kids, but in this point in my life, it's so nice to have a family. It really is.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Hey, and when I met you and you were with June, I mean, how would you have guessed that you'd be married to
Exactly.
a woman?
That's exactly right.
Sanctioned by the state,
Yeah, by the government, by the federal
by the
government.
government.
Yeah, I know.
Pretty
Pretty
amazing.
amazing.
Good
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Good changes.
Yeah, let me ask you that. I mean, obviously you're gay, and
Yep.
and when did you? I mean, did you ever quote come out? Because ever since I met you in '72, when it was not hip or anything to be
Yeah.
gay. By the way, my son is gay, and he came out to me, and let me think, for probably mid '80s, I'd say, but way after I met you. And I'm kind of curious. I mean, did you ever quote? If you, it's almost like you never really had to come out.
No,
Could
I
you
never
extrapolate
did.
that a little bit?
I never did. I mean, I just was. I've just always been who I am. You know, and in my 20s, I was completely bisexual. I mean, I was with June, and then when June and I split up, I was completely bisexual until I met Chris Williamson, and then Chris and I fell in love, and that was it. I was with Chris for 20 years, and then I've been with women ever since. So yes, I consider myself a lesbian now, but I've always just walked my own path. I never felt the need, and it's funny because I brought June home to Marquette, Michigan in like was 1972, I guess.
Wow.
And my mother was like, "Why do you wait on her? Why, what's your relation?" I said, "Well, But
Wow.
she asked my brother a few years later. She said, "Is Tret a lesbian?" And my brother says, "Well, I'd call her a feminist." And I thought that was great. So I didn't
That's
have
safe.
to come out to my family,
Thank you,
and I never
brother.
had to come out. Yeah, really. But yeah, because
so funny.
it's just I've just always walked a path that was just who I am. I'm just always been who I am. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. You just were like I like your way of framing that. I just was. I didn't have to. I just was.
I just was.
I mean, I'm sure that theme is in many of your songs, but you have a song that's relatively explicit that talks about that.
Do I?
Or maybe you don't have to be because
You don't have.
maybe
I'm
it's
just kind of
No,
curious
I
because
don't-
it's such a great theme.
Yeah,
That's
no.
where we're all
I-
trying to get to.
Right. No, not really. Not that I can think
She
of.
just
Yeah.
she just is.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have to
yeah, I mean, again.
Yeah,
since
because
I-
I've never, even though I was in the women's movement for a good 20 years in the heyday of the women's movement. My songs have always been humanist songs. I mean, I never
Yeah.
really wrote lesbian songs, but I was
Right.
loved and am still loved by women. I think
And I
because
have a
I'm a strong
question.
character, I'm a strong woman, and I walk my own path. But
Uh-huh.
I've never written like Meg Christian and Chris did. I've never written lesbian songs. I've just written. I'm a humanist. That's
Right.
Well, and relationships are relationships. I mean,
Right.
the
Exactly
connection
right.
is
Well,
a
it's
connection.
like the
That's
gender
right.
finds its way in somewhere, probably in the form of a pronoun, but it doesn't. You're just
Yeah.
writing about a person that
Right.
you feel something for, unless you get really specific, I guess.
yeah.
If I think about it, I don't think that my songs, refer to, unless a he or a him ends up in there somewhere. You could interpret it.
My pronouns are usually first and second person, so I don't.
Yeah,
have a lot of
yeah, right. It's often
yeah.
you and me. So
Yeah,
exactly. I wanted to ask you. I saw the words come up in your bio, and other women of your generation, like Holly Near, we had on the show. I see the words women's music come up, and I'm just curious. It feels like a really older term to me. Just
Yeah, it kind
I
of
don't-
is now.
yeah, I'm just curious
Yeah.
what that meant when it was a new term, and what it means to you now.
It was really it really what came out of Meg Christian's mind. Meg Christian was a lesbian singer-songwriter in the D.C. area, and she collected every album by a woman that has ever been recorded. In fact, that I had that collection for a while, and it's gone on to libraries. But she discovered Chris Williamson. Chris came to D.C. to play, and she knew Chris's song, so they ended up doing an interview because there was a collective of women, and Chris did an interview with them, and she said, "Why don't you guys start a record company?" And so they said, "Oh, okay." So they went to California and started a record company, and Meg and Chris did their first single together, and it sold like a phenomenal number of records, and women's music was born. And basically what it was a place for women to have a room of their own. In the 80s, thousands of women would come to concerts, maybe one or two men, maybe a handful, and they were the brave ones, because women have always been in rooms full of men, but men have rarely been in rooms full of women. And we would play to thousands and thousands of women because we needed our own identity in the music industry. Because, like you probably know this, Freebo, in the 70s, every label had one woman, maybe two. Bonnie was like the one for Warner Brothers.
Right.
I was on Uni because they didn't have a woman. We were novelties, so we needed to find our own space, and that's how women's music was born. After a while, there was no more need for it because women were recognized as viable artists, mostly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Wow,
in
thank
a
you.
nutshell, that's a brief. Yeah.
No, that's helpful because it's I guess it's proof that I've come up in a different time thanks
Yeah.
to you.
No, it's true. That's
Yeah.
true. And people like Tret would definitely forge the way for
That's
for,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for all of us,
We
really.
all have-
Yeah.
you
Yep.
know.
Yeah.
That's
Cool.
cool.
Well, Tret, I went to Smith College, so
Oh.
I'm
Yeah.
a
you
Smithy,
go.
and I went there really intentionally. It's the only school I applied to. I loved the
That's-
idea of being at a women's college, and
Yep.
I
Great
had gone
school
to
go
a
to. Yeah.
yeah. It really spoke to me. I had been to a all girls summer camp, and it just always felt like such an empowering
Exactly. That
space,
school was very
and
empowering
to
for people too.
yeah, and to be in a classroom where the only students are women is just a completely different experience.
Yep.
The voices are kind of equalized amongst you, and more people speak out
Yeah.
that wouldn't otherwise
That's
say
right.
a word, because
That's right. Yeah.
and it's not, I think men are just socialized to kind of speak more, and so women tend to hang
Right.
back, and it's just so different. It's really interesting.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's a great
Thanks.
experience for you. Yeah. Awesome.
It was. Yeah. Well, should we do some music?
Yeah, I noticed that Tret was using the partial capo,
yeah,
the
I
cut
know.
capo, and
Me too. Freebo
Alice
taught
does
me
that.
about it.
I showed that to Alice, and she's running with it, and you sounded fantastic with it. You got to do. Yeah, why don't you give us an example of what you do with
All
it?
right. Okay, Tret. We'll see you in a few.
Sounds good.
Hey, I just want to welcome you all again. Thanks to our friends at Norman's Rare Guitars. Thanks, Jen, for being on here with us tonight. If you guys are watching on YouTube, we're so happy you're here. We're seeing the comments come in, and on Facebook too. If you're watching on Facebook and you're enjoying the show, we'd love if you would share it, and that'll help more folks find it. As you know, we are here every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and we have a new special guest every week. And I just want to say, we'll start now, I guess, with our giveaway.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do
because
one at a time so that I don't get too confused.
Well, we've got some wonderful sponsors, and we're really grateful to them. And one of which is Cordial Cables. You got one there, right? And that by cables we mean cords, guitar cords, and mic cords, but they're cables.
They come in many lovely colors.
Many colors, and they're very special in that for two reasons. First of all, lifetime guarantee. And anybody who's ever played guitar or sung knows that these things go south very quickly. These things don't, and if they do, they will replace it free of charge. The other really nice thing about these cables is they're made of very special alloy, almost all copper. And the sound resistance, the electrical resistance is so minimal that they're very, very clean. There's little to no buzz from them. So all of our cables, our mic cables and our guitar cables are Cordial. They've given them to us, and we're grateful to Mike for that. And the giveaway is that you get to have one of your own if you win this particular contest that Alice is about to tell you about.
Yeah, so I saw somebody say that there's a syncing issue with the video and audio, and I have done everything I possibly can to fix that, and just close your eyes. I don't know how to fix it. I've tried. But back to the giveaway. Just in the comments on either YouTube or Facebook, just say, I'd like to enter to win a cable, and we will pick somebody before the end of the show tonight. So you're going to have to stay tuned the whole time and just say, I'd like to win a cable, something like that. Make it kind of obvious there, and we will randomly pick somebody. Mm-hmm. I'm going to play a song because we've been talking a lot.
Okay, and then we'll tell them about the other giveaway. So stay tuned, folks.
I need to put a couple minutes between the giveaways so that I don't lose my mind watching the comments come in.
Yeah, and this is a music show after all, so we got to play
Wait, it
music.
is?
Yeah. What are you about to play, Alice?
I think I want to do that new one.
Which
that we've
one?
been
You've
practicing.
got so many really cool ones.
Things I'm not saying.
Oh, great.
It's a new song. Excited to share with you guys. It's all quiet now at the end of the day. I'm doing it in the wrong key. By we, I mean I. I'd like to do it up here.
F sharp or G? I think you did it in G, didn't you?
No, no way. Not G. That's crazy. And I'm gonna tune my guitar because as good as cordial cables are, they can't tune your
They
guitar.
don't tune your guitar. But they'll make it sound more out of tune if you are out of tune, and more in tune if you're in tune.
Is that so?
It is true. That's what good sound is all about. It's true. By the way, hi Don Clune and gosh, everybody. Chuck Cohen. I mean, I gave Chuck Cohen some bass lessons many years ago, and now he's got a 31-year-old daughter. Amazing. But thank you all for joining us.
It's all quiet now at the end of the day. Unpacked my suitcase, I put the dishes away. It's not hard to stay busy, I got so much to do. If I stop, I'll get caught with the things that I'm not saying to you. I heard you've been traveling, I heard you're doing alright. You got some new girlfriend, moving on with your life. But I'm still full of questions. Do you wonder too? Do you still save a spot for the things that I'm not saying to you? I block it out, I play pretend, I write you letters that I can't send. I get so tired of doing what's right, I don't wanna be tongue-tied the rest of my life. I bought a new car and I moved to LA. There's just something about it, I don't care what they say. I can walk in the sunshine on the days I feel blue. It's the best place I got to escape what I'm not saying to you. I block it out, I play pretend, I write you letters that I can't send. I get so tired of doing what's right, I don't wanna be tongue-tied the rest of my life. Thanks, everybody. Sorry, it's apparently a little bit effed up, as they say. I wish I could fix it, but I frankly...
Lord knows she tried.
I don't know how.
She tried. Let's see, still it's the early days of streaming, kind of like with the cell phones. Hello, could you move? I can't hear.
I'm gonna have a new setup for next week. I don't know what's going on. If anyone wants to write me an email that really knows how this stuff works, just go to my website. I'm taking suggestions. Freebo, why don't you play a song while we're on this?
I just noticed my buddy Don Clune that who was it in there?
I know somebody said they saw.
Yeah, somebody said they saw you play at Penn, and then before you went to the NFL. So that's
Don Clune.
pretty cool. They still remember you, Don. Which actually kind of leads into this song, because I'm going to send this out to you, Tret.
Oh, good. They're telling me it's not my fault.
It's not your fault.
I'm so happy.
It's not your
I always
fault.
feel like it's my fault.
No, it's
It's my guilty conscience.
Yeah, Tret, gosh, 49 years, and when you think about the memories back then and that song that you sang just about, your life in Madison and before that and with June, and I mean, so many things. And this is a beautiful song written by a friend of mine, passed about 7 or 8 years ago, a guy named Stephen Bruton, a wonderful Texas songwriter out of Fort Worth, and spent a lot of time in Austin. And it's really all about that whole thing. The song is called Too Many Memories.
I love this song. May I sing on this with you?
Oh, please do. I remember this town and a girl by my side, and a love seldom found in this day and time, and it gets melancholy every now and again when you let your mind go and it drifts way back when life plays us tricks, some cruel but fair, and even a fool can't pretend he don't care. When there's too many memories for one heart to hold, and the future once bright now seems so distant and cold, and the shadows grow long and your eyes look so old, when there's too many memories for one heart to hold. There are those moments, and they just never fade, like the look in her eyes and the way the light played. God moved in that moment, and the angels are crying, and they gave you a memory that you'll have till you die. Now the lesson you learn, and you don't dare forget, what makes you grow old is replacing hope with regret. When there's too many memories for one heart to hold, and the future once bright now seems so distant and cold, and the shadows grow long and your eyes look so old, when there's too many memories for one heart to hold.
just want to remind you all, if you are able to send us a tip for tonight's show, we would be most grateful for that. If you're enjoying the music and it's if it's something you can do, something you can afford, even $5, $10, whatever you can do, really helps us out a lot. I'm going to put the PayPal and Venmo info up right here, and I'm going to bring back Tret Fure.
Good, bring back
I
Tret.
see her backstage there. She's ready. Hi, Tret.
There you are.
Hey, that was a beautiful song. Both songs were just gorgeous. So
Thank
lovely
you.
to hear you both.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
That was great, Freebo. I remember Stephen well. Steve Wheaton.
Oh yeah, you knew him well, huh?
It's
Yeah.
just such a great song. Can I help you?
Oh,
You
yeah.
seem like...
No, I think I got it. Here we go. All these wires.
Tret, I want to ask a question we've asked many of our guests. What are some of your most formative musical influences? How did you get going down this path, and what are some artists that really stick out in your mind from a young age?
Well, I started playing guitar when I was 11, and seriously when I was 12.
Took a year, huh?
Yeah, right. And I lived in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, so I didn't know people who played, and I had to learn by picking up a needle and putting it down and figuring things out. Didn't even really have songbooks. And I listened to Judy Collins, Joan Baez, Bob Dylan, then Leonard Cohen, then Joni Mitchell, James Taylor. And those are the people that really formed my guitar playing. I mean, I learned how to Travis pick listening to Judy Collins, because she was a master picker. I mean, she still is, but she was a great guitar player. Nobody thinks about that.
As is Joan Baez.
Yeah, Joan is...
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
both
so
of
good.
them. My mother hated her voice, so she'd always say, "Turn that off." She hated Joan Baez's
It's quite the vibrato.
I can relate to that.
But those truly were my influences, and they taught me a great deal about how to write a song. I mean, I started writing songs when I was 19. But the other thing that formed me in an interesting way was in high school. Somehow I got into listening to Robert Johnson and a lot of blues. And as a result, my first professional gig when I got to LA at 19 was I was the guitar player for Spencer Davis. He had a acoustic blues. He was putting together an acoustic blues trio, and it was me and Spencer and a friend of mine, a bass player friend of mine, songwriter named Andy Way, and we toured for a couple of years. We did an album together, and I can't even remember what got me into blues, but I knew how to play 12-string slide and 6-string finger picking blues and lead belly style, and I learned all that stuff. I just absorbed everything I could in high school because I was just up in the boonies, and all I did was play my music. So so those were my early heroes.
That's great. That
Definitely.
sounds actually kind of familiar for me, some of the names you mentioned. My mom loved Joan Baez, and just those stories were always really evocative for me, almost like reading fairy tales or something. They're so just like basic human, like life and death. They're just the classic stories, and often she wouldn't change them at all, like those traditional ballads. So I don't know. Those really...
and those ballads were phenomenal. I mean, that was the real folk songs, the real the ballads from the English ballads, and all the long stories. I mean, Barbara Allen, that was like the first one I learned. And,
me too.
So those were and they're still going. They're still out there. It's just like how many verses can you listen to? I mean, the nice thing about
I know
the ones who popularize them, they cut them down to a listenable length.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting.
Did you ever have? Well, I'm guessing you did, because your style is so much different now than it was. Do you remember any kind of a seminal or a light bulb moment when you said, there's something else I'd like to do, or did it just kind of slowly happen organically, or some combination of all the above?
I think it just happened organically. I mean, I've broadened my styles. I mean, originally, I was just finger picking, Travis picking folk singer. I've listened to a lot of music. James Taylor really influenced a different kind of playing. To me, it was more like a Bach playing, where you're your bass lines are separate from your upper strings and that kind of stuff. But then when I started teaching guitar, which I do, that really broadened my playing even more. You have to learn if you're going to teach.
Right, very true.
And so I think that teaching has made me a much better guitar player and a much more versatile guitar player. Yeah.
And what about your singing style?
That is just muscle. It's just, it's all muscle. It's just you work all the time. I mean, before COVID, I do 100 shows a year, but I'm actually almost singing as much because I do a show, a YouTube show every 3 weeks, and I've made a point of doing different songs every show. So I'm having to relearn all my 18 albums or 17 albums. I don't do all of them, but
do you do Tight Black Jeans?
I know. I was gonna ask, do you do Tight Black Jeans? I feel like that's gonna be like my one.
You're gonna have to look it up now.
No, I'm just trying.
I hope there's a music video.
I'm trying to beat the. I want to beat the trolls on Norm's Rare Guitar YouTube channel. I figured I'd one up them.
That's right.
No, so go ahead.
It's really just. So I have to rehearse. So I don't, when I'm on the road, I don't rehearse. I just play every night, But home, I'm rehearsing more. So I'm actually using my voices as much in a different way because you don't get that concert hall or even club feedback, the back wall that comes back at you. And so it's a very different experience. But even this kind of stuff, doing at home live stream makes you a better singer because it's naked. It's very naked, just like a house concert would be if you don't have sound at a house concert. Even though I have microphones, I'm not using reverb or stuff. I want it to be an intimate experience. So you really have to be your best. You have to sing your best.
Yeah.
But
it's
truly,
interesting.
Freebo, to answer your question, it's a muscle. And if you use it, it gets better, hopefully. You stretch it. It's like your hands. You stretch it.
Tret, back when I met you, I wasn't singing. I would sing reluctantly, obligatory harmony parts that I heard in my head, like "Love has no pride."
I remember that.
And once I started writing songs, I had to sing them. Like I said, I'm the only one who knew how they went. And it forced me into learning how to sing and literally taking some vocal lessons and how do you pronounce words and doing vocal exercises and supporting the voice and listening to when you're sharp and when you're flat a little more closely and being naked all by yourself. And honestly, it's the most difficult, most challenging thing I've ever done.
Oh, you're a good singer.
But,
you're a good singer and a great guitar player. You really.
Thank you.
It's just it's been lovely for me to watch you turn into this singer-songwriter guitarist, not just the bass player that I knew, back in the day with Bonnie. You're just
thank you.
The first time I saw you at Focal Lines, God, how many years ago that was, and realized, oh, he's a songwriter now. I mean, you may have been back then, but that's not.
No, I wasn't. When I met you, I didn't write songs. I was in my mid-40s.
Yeah,
so,
you've
whole different thing.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You're
beautiful.
You're growing up
so
nicely,
much.
Freebo.
What's that?
Yeah. My mom always says you're growing up nicely.
You're growing up nice.
She says to me.
And honestly, I mean, in my 70s, I'm still growing.
Yeah.
I hope that gives inspiration to anybody else out there. But it feels good. I think you keep growing. I mean, if you want to be conscious, you kind of keep growing till the day you die. Exactly. Otherwise you stagnate. And ultimately, to me, it's just a question of a happiness quotient. The more I grow, the better I get. And the better I get, the happier I am. So there's actually a payoff.
And the more confident and comfortable you are. If you get confidence, you get comfortable. That's the other thing that comes with age. It's like, don't you get nervous? It's like, no, I've been doing this for 50 years. I look forward to it. It's like I settle in when I'm on stage or when I'm doing my work. But also with this new CD, I've had so many people say, this is your best work yet. You have never, the breadth of it and the depth of it, and that's what you want to hear.
It is.
Oh, I liked it best in, back in the 80s.
You want your next thing. It should always be the new thing is the best thing.
Yeah, so to hear that gives you, it's just what you want to hear.
Well, why don't you tell people where they can get that CD and then maybe play something else from it?
Yeah.
I will. You can get my CD go to my website, tretfure.com, TRETFURE,
There it is.
And
I just put it up.
I have a store page where you can buy physical CDs. You can get digital downloads from Goldenrod Music, and I'm also on all the CD Baby, Hear Now Music, all the streaming stuff. You can find me. But buy
Great.
digital stuff through Goldenrod. They've been my distributor forever.
Cool.
And their link is right on my front page. So,
Perfect.
You know. Yeah.
Great.
So I'll do something that's on the bluesy vein from the new CD called. It's a song about forgiveness. It's called "The Prayer in the Wheel." I watched you walk away, and I watched us fall apart, and I wondered how I'd get through it, and how I'd ever regain my heart. But the sun still shines, and the rain still falls, and the moon comes out, and the birds still call, and forgiveness is a powerful thing. And I can still hear those words and sense the pain in my heart, but I don't lie awake any longer, wondering how it all came apart. 'Cause the sun still shines, and the rain still falls, and the moon comes out, and the birds still call, and forgiveness is a powerful thing. And I wish you the best, I wish you so well, and I hope you never ever have to go through that hell. But the beautiful thing is that hell isn't real. It's when you're caught between the prayer and the wheel. And because I let you go, my stilled heart started anew. And because I didn't let my sorrow linger, I found a whole new world and a love so true. 'Cause the sun still shines, and the rain still falls, and the moon comes out, and the birds still call, and forgiveness is a powerful thing. And I wish you the best, I wish you so well, and I hope you never ever have to go through that hell. But the beautiful thing is that hell isn't real. It's when you're caught between the prayer and the wheel. Cause the sun still shines, and the rain still falls, and the moon comes out, and the birds still call, and forgiveness is a powerful thing.
Hey,
Wow,
I decided to switch the camera. Beautiful song.
that's a great song. Man,
Thank
I
you.
tell you what I love about it. First of all, I mean, it's a blues song, you know, and then you go to the B section, it goes a different place. And then you went to the bridge, and it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
She's venturing into the old songbook kind of stuff and come back. But also the fact that, you know, blues songs don't have to be like, you know, I woke up this morning, all my cars were gone. You know,
Yeah.
it's got that conscious thing in it, and it's extended, and that's beautiful. That's a great song.
Thanks. Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, apparently your audio sync is just perfect, so I'm gonna need a lesson from you after this show is over.
Yeah, because
Tret.
I got comments. I looked at
I'm
my
happy
phone.
that-
And, yeah, I mean, I looked on some of the formats and it did look out of sync, but I've heard, my comments I heard was, no, you're fine. It's fine.
Well, and somebody actually said that we're 8 seconds out of sync. I mean, that's
That's
not out of sync.
that's like
a
outer
different universe,
space.
but-
Yeah, that's like what happened. I was telling you about Alice in my one show. It's like in the middle of the show, it was like that far out of sync.
Oh my
I don't know.
God! Well, hopefully by switching to
when
the laptop here, that's working better.
Yeah, well, when you're using multiple formats, sometimes you just
It's
Let's see what happens.
yeah.
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 What are
There you
you
go.
exactly?
That's
We
lovely.
just gotta keep playing.
Yeah, just keep playing.
That's what we know how to do.
That's all right.
That's
Yeah.
what we're qualified to do that.
And folks, we want to thank you for your contribution, for your donations. We split them evenly between the three of us, and they help us to pay the rent and keep going, especially in these difficult times where we can't tour. So we appreciate your generosity.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to give a whole lot, but I mean, literally, if each of you threw in $5, that would help just tremendously. So Venmo or PayPal.
Yeah. Thanks
Or
everybody.
carrier pigeon. I mean, you know what.
Yeah. That's right. Send a
Whatever works.
pigeon. All right. Okay. I'm gonna sing another
Why
song.
don't you do another song?
Now that I'm in sync, I'm synced up.
All
All
right.
right. Bye, Tret.
Oh, now we're both in sync, Alice. How about that?
Oh, never a dull moment, Freebs.
What happened?
No, just
Oh,
here. Now we're having to share this little screen, but that's fine.
that's okay. We can do that. You're bigger than I am. I mean, listen.
Finally.
Well, you do have a big head, so
Whoa.
I mean, just the size of your head. Not. Oh,
That's where I keep my brain.
it's a big brain too.
June is a dream, I've had it before. Sweet summer breeze coming through my screen door. Don't wake me up, I'll be begging for more. I'll always let you in. Pieces of fate fall into my hands. What we did that night wasn't part of my plans. Hard to accept when you don't understand, but I learned not to feel ashamed. You can run, you can hide, but it don't give a damn for your pride. Oh, I'm a happy fool, and love has no rules. I know that one day we'll be out of time. I could count all the days left before the goodbye. Nobody knows it better than I, but I don't want to live that way. You can run, you can hide, but it don't give a damn for your pride. Oh, I'm a happy fool, love has no rules. No rules. No rules. No rules. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you. It's another new one.
Another new one.
Yeah, it's.
Can't wait to make this new record.
I know. Me too. I saw somebody asking where the tip jar was.
Where is it?
It is on PayPal or Venmo. You guys can put in my info on either Venmo or PayPal. You can also enter my email on PayPal, which is alice@alicehowmusic. Sorry, no, it's not. It's alice@alicehow.com. That is my email address. And if you want to send it friends and family, if you do it that way, that's great. Then we don't have to pay PayPal, because who wants to do that? But yeah, those are the two choices there. Thanks, everybody. Cool. Freebo.
Yeah, Vincent just asked about me with the transition from fretted to fretless bass. That actually happened in 1970 when Fender came out with maybe 69. Fender came out with the fretless bass, and I was playing a 63 Fender Precision that I got in 66. Little did I know how cool it was. And I walked to a music store, and they said, "Hey, look what we have," and it was a Fender Precision fretless bass, and I put, I guess, $50 down or $100 down.
Gosh.
A couple months later, I had it, and I actually had it for 3 or 4 months before I really played it. I was intimidated by it, but the band I was playing with, Edison Electric, we had one of those gigs. It was in a bar in Northeast Philly, 5 sets a night, 6 nights a week. So I thought, nobody I know is going to come, and it's just a question of just playing. So I thought I'll play the fretless bass and see where I'm at the end of the week. And the truth is, I haven't put it down since. It's just something that's really wonderful about it, and it's pretty much all I play. I've since taken out my old 63 Precision and put back some flat wound strings on it, and it sounds pretty cool. So I'm going to use that for certain things in the studio with Alice and myself. But I just love fretless bass. It's just something about, especially with acoustic guitar, it just does a thing.
It's like another singer almost. I
Yeah.
just love it. It's so different from anything I've ever heard a bass player do.
And that's kind of
It's
the way
really
I
beautiful.
think of bass anyway. Thank you. I kind of think of bass as a counter melody. It's just another melody low down. You mentioned early on, Tret, about Bach. You kind of think Bach with the bass, and Bach was like the first bass player, so to speak, with the moving bass, and all the contrapuntal things, stuff. So anyway, that's
The what things?
contrapuntal.
Bless you.
Did we talk about the coffee yet?
No, in fact,
We should do that.
I want to say that we have a winner for the cable.
Oh, good.
And her name is Sharon Dimmick. If you are in the audience, just please send me a message on my website. Go to alicehow.com, and you can find the contact form there, and you can just say, "Hey, I'm Sharon. I won the giveaway for the cable tonight, so congratulations. You are going to be getting your very own lifetime guarantee Cordial cable." And the folks at Cordial have been really wonderful about sending them out to folks right away. So I'll get you the order form, and we'll get you a t-shirt as well from Cordial. So
And
congratulations,
for those of you
Sharon.
who don't play musical instruments or need a chord for any reason,
We are doing another
but
giveaway.
drink coffee, or even if you do play music and use chords, this is our other sponsor at the moment, and our friend Arpi Maros from New
There it is.
Jersey. It's called Fair Trade Coffee, and you can get a pound of beans of your choice. And what do they have to do, Alice?
They have to put a number between 1 and 100. We've chosen a number between 1 and 100, and the person who gets closest to it. So we will send you a pound of coffee. So please put your guesses in the chat. And oh, good, Sharon! Yay, you're welcome. I'm so glad you're there. Send me a message, and we will get your order out to you. So yes, for the coffee, a number between 1 and 100, and we will pick someone before the end of the show. So that is our next giveaway and our final giveaway of the evening here on our little giveaway show.
But while we're at it, we want to thank Audio Technica, who've given us these wonderful mics that we're using, and also this amp that I'm playing out of, the Fishman Loudbox. It's a really guitar amp, but it works great for bass, and I can play it at a fairly soft volume and just put my Cordial mic cord out of the back XLR and come into a PA, and it sounds phenomenal. So I love that thing, and thank you to Chris DeMario at Fishman. Really appreciate your support. So thank you all, and also with Rock Cellar Magazine. You guys have been very good to us, and y'all should know that you can go to Rock Cellar Magazine and just you can get that coming into your inbox for free every day. And they have wonderful musical articles as well as current events. What's the website for that, Alice?
Why you gotta make me remember all this stuff?
Because you better memory than
I'm
I.
trying to watch the numbers coming in. Okay, it's rockcellarmagazine.com.
Mm-hmm. And thank you, Laurie Reimer, for that. And
Yes.
Kevin Wax. And here's a song that kind of speaks a little bit to my journey, and I think it's true with you, Tret, as well. Whether you call it blues, folk, rock and roll, it's music. It's a song I wrote many years ago, one of my first, called I'll Never Be Ready to Hang Up My Rock and Roll Shoes. And that is the truth. This is the bluesy version. I'll never be ready to hang up my rock and roll shoes. I'll never be ready to ever stop singing the blues. I'll be doing it by night, I'll be doing it by day, I'll be doing it blind when I'm old and gray. And I'll never be ready to hang up, never be ready to hang up, I'll never be ready to hang up my rock and roll shoes. I'll never be ready to fit into society. You know what I mean, Tret? Well, I wish you bill collectors could forget about bothering me. I barely make a living, no security. Yeah, but I'm about as happy as a man can be. And I'll never be ready to hang up, never be ready to hang up, I'll never be ready to hang up my rock and roll shoes. Ah, hey kid, do you want to learn to play a guitar?
Yeah, I do.
You play it well. You can pick a song and sing along. Maybe you can be a star. Yeah. Don't you think I'm crazy? Won't you come and carry me away? 'Cause wherever I go, I will be sitting on the dock of the bay, with Otis beside me and Pickett behind. The Stones and Chuck Berry serenade my mind. And I'll never be ready to hang up, I'll never be ready to hang up, I'll never be ready to hang up my rock and roll. I'll never be ready to hang up, I'll never be ready to hang up, rock and roll shoes. I'll never be ready. I'll be having one foot in my grave. No, I'll be in my grave, Alice.
Oh, I hope not too soon.
But I'll still be kicking. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I will never be ready to hang up. Never be ready to hang up. I'll never be ready. I will never be ready. I will never be ready to hang up my rock and roll shoes. Ow!
Let's bring Tret Fure back.
Let's bring her back.
I miss her.
It's been too long.
It has. Hey, Tret.
That was great.
Thank you.
You know, I meant to find before I came on. I just was so busy that I had to get new tires and all kinds of shit.
Oh,
but
me too.
I wanted to find really.
Yes, I just got new tires.
That's hilarious.
That's what folks need to tip us for, because
Yeah, exactly.
we need to pay
They're
for our
very
new tires.
expensive.
They
Oh my
are.
God. But anyway,
Sorry,
I had a printout of that photo that I showed you once, Freebo, of us backstage at the Liberty Hall in Houston, Texas.
Oh, yeah.
It's,
Bonnie and Little Feet and you.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It's a great photo.
Oh,
Just
man.
a great photo. I meant to.
Would you send that to me? I'm not sure
Absolutely.
if I have that one or not. I think
Yeah.
I might, but just in case.
I will. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
That was an amazing week. I mean, Bonnie and I were a duo, and you were open, so it was you, and
was
then
open,
Bonnie and me,
and
and
then
then Little Feet, and
yeah.
we'd all sit in
Wow.
with each other.
Yeah, it was
Man,
crazy.
can I go? I'd like to be sitting at that concert.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Oh, wow.
And we
So-
still have our rock and roll shoes on.
Yes, we do.
I want to
Absolutely.
ask you, Tret. I read in your bio so many other projects that you have. It seems besides your music, it seems like you've got your clothing line of your tomboy girl.
Yeah, tomboy
and
girl
you're
clothing,
it just I loved it. It said Tret is a true Renaissance woman. So I think that's a
Yeah,
great
well, I mean,
descriptor, and I'm just
you gotta
curious what
do-
that means to you.
I do as many things as I can to stay alive because we're independent artists. It's
Yeah.
we don't have any backing really. I have this clothing line I've had since 2001, and it's based on a rock and roll song I wrote in the 90s called Tomboy Girl.
Yeah.
About growing up as a tomboy, and I also now have a line of jewelry that's made from my used guitar strings.
Oh, cool.
A woman named Kathy Miller, Loving Life Arts, designs these, and I'm wearing a treble clef that's wrapped in my used guitar strings.
Wait,
I
let's
also
get
do
closer to that.
I also do. Oh yeah, here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Do you have one with a
And,
bass clef?
Yes, I have several with a bass clef. Nobody knows
right.
what a bass clef is, at least in
They don't.
outside of the music world.
Breaking Freebo's heart.
Oh, gosh.
I know it's crazy.
It's
I think,
ve-
how can you
it's-
people not know this is a bass clef?
It's very important.
It is.
It is.
And I also do pet portraits. On
Oh my
commission.
gosh.
I just finished one. I'm starting another one. I mean, it's a good little sideline. I mean, I
Do
paint,
you-
and I don't know.
That's
I
so
do whatever,
great.
and I teach and I do whatever I can.
Yeah.
Well, and you're also very much into the union and
Yes.
working people's
Yeah, and
issues.
somebody
and-
actually
Yes.
asked about that.
Yep.
They were interested in your work with the union. That's a
Yeah,
good
I was on the
question.
board of Local 1000 for 18 years. I was
Mm-hmm.
vice president for 9. I was president for 6, and I was on the floating member or a board member for 2 years. It's a union for traveling musicians. It's a
I'm
non-geographic local of AFM, and Freebo's a member.
I'm a member. Yeah.
I got him to join. I was
Yep.
grateful
I would
for
like
that.
to join.
Yes, you should. We'll talk about that for
Okay.
sure
Great.
because it's really an important. I get a pension now. I mean, I've been getting a pension for 4 years now.
Yeah.
Actually,
Well,
6. I
it's-
think I took my 4 year. I didn't. I took my Social Security early, but not my pension.
It's
It's
so
not a
important
huge pension,
because-
but it's a good pension. It's a little bit of money every month, just like
Yeah.
everything we do. Yeah.
Well, and what we do is so outside the usual. Sorry,
yes,
talking into my mic. Like all the classes that I went to at Smith about financial planning, like none of them were really directed toward the traveling singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
They were like,
and-
oh, your boss will match your contribution, and it's
Right.
like, it's
no, I am my own
it's
boss.
a different map. Yeah, there's really it's. I mean, I've had to rely on just talking to older, more seasoned musicians about this stuff. There's no guidebook necessarily.
No. You know, and the union does. I mean, it's good for it's solidarity of musicians. We tackle a lot of political issues. We make we're looking. We have fair trade music campaigns so that venues, when venues come back, pay musicians a fair wage, and there's all kinds of reasons to be. For Canadian members, the union, the AFM is the only way you can get a P2 visa to come into the United States to work, and I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that makes being a member of Local 1000 really important. And
And how does it relate to? This is genuinely a question. How for me is it related to like SAG-AFTRA and not totally
it's
different?
American Federation of Musicians.
it's a different union.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the one I hear about more here in LA, I guess.
Yeah,
Oh, sure,
of
in
course.
LA, yeah, but they're different. I mean, I belong to both.
Yeah. And I belong to.
You're double dipping on your unions.
No, you
What's
have.
that?
No, it's
No, I'm
good.
just
You
kidding.
should. You should always, especially if you're if you do session work in LA, you've got to be a member of your own local.
Yeah.
But if you travel,
Right.
then you need to be in Local 1000 because your local union does not cover your work outside of your.
Well, when I start traveling
jurisdiction,
again, I'll be on it. Somebody
All
was
right.
asking, can you donate to your union, the union of which
You
we
can
are
donate
speaking?
to the emergency relief fund. In fact, what
Okay.
we have an ERF, and generally it's been to give non-refundable loans to musicians in need. This year,
okay.
there has been so much good fortune in people donating to the ERF. We are actually able to do $1,000 grants to our musicians that are in dire need. And so this is something that we just started doing this year.
Oh, cool.
And so yes, you can donate.
Where
to
can
the
folks
emergency.
find that?
Go to local1000.org. Local and then the numbers 1000.org.
Cool.
And right on the front page it says donate to the ERF. Yeah, that would be a wonderful thing.
Great.
Cool. Well, Tret, we've been talking a lot,
I know.
and I tell you, why don't you play two songs in a row, if
Yeah.
you would, maybe a couple songs
Sure.
from your new record.
Good idea.
Sure. Yeah, I'll do that.
Or from whatever record.
Oh, this is good to play from the. Well, actually, let me do that one song. I'll close with the new record, but let me do the title song from my last CD, which was 2018, because it's a song about climate change, which fortunately we're going to get back on track with that
Hopefully,
in our
yeah.
country. Hopefully, yes.
Yeah.
But this.
Oh, excuse me, Tret, just real quickly before you talk about the song, what kind of guitar is that you're playing, and what kind of strings you use?
This is a Collins.
Yeah.
And I use John Pierce. I've been using John Pierce for years. I have an endorsement with John Pierce.
Cool.
I love their strings. They're brilliant. They last. And the Collins was a gift to me.
Really?
I had my last guitar, which I still have, but is in bed right now. Was a Martin D45 that a fan of mine gave me, a friend/fan of mine gave me for my 50th birthday, and I played that guitar for years, and then the airlines wrecked it, and I've had it repaired 3 times, and it just keeps collapsing. So I called Leslie. I said, Leslie, I'm really sorry, but that beautiful guitar she's a collector of guitars. That beautiful guitar you gave me, the airlines just ruined it. And she goes, well, I must have given you a bad guitar. You need another one. Do you want another Martin? I said, no, because the high-end Martins you can't travel with. They're too delicate. She goes, well, what about that guitar you played when you did a house concert at my house in Alaska? I said, oh, that was beautiful. I can't remember what it was. She says, it was a Collins. So she sent it to me. And this is signed. This is signed by Bill.
Wow.
Wow.
So
before
cool.
he
Before he
passed
died.
on.
He died, yeah.
So I called Collins to see the value of this, and I gave him the serial. He says, what's the serial numbers? And I said, it's a 4-digit serial number. He goes, how long have you had that guitar? And I said, well, I just got it. But it's it's one that he built, and it's got a Adirondack spruce top, and it's just a
Wow.
beautiful,
Gorgeous guitar.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, now about the song.
Yeah. So this song I wrote several Novembers ago. I live in Virginia, Southern Virginia, and we have roses in November, which is not right. And in fact, it's now mid-December, and we still have roses blooming because we are so screwed up with our environment. And you know, there's been so many issues this year that we have forgotten about because of COVID. The flooding in the spring where the farmers couldn't plant, the derecho in Iowa, the most hurricanes ever, and we, you know, it's just crazy. So I wrote this song about that. Fall is showing up much later this year. Roses blooming in November. I picked tomatoes from the garden last week. Another unseasonable season. Peppers red and hot and dropping to the ground. And I've got a fall crop of zucchini. It's still too soon to rake the autumn leaves. Another unseasonable season. Did you notice that the hurricanes are fiercer? Tornadoes tearing up and ripping our towns. But let's go driving through the countryside. Gas is much cheaper these days. I bought some apples, not a blemish to be found, though the limes are hard and thready. And does the rice seem more expensive than before? Another unseasonable season. And did you notice that we had more rain, though other states are deep in drought? Still, let's go driving through the countryside. Gas is much cheaper these days. Should we go out and buy a brand new truck? Hell, the rates are really low. We can drive across the state so fast and outrun the storm that's about to blow. Did you notice that the hurricanes are fiercer? Tornadoes tearing up and ripping our towns. But let's go driving through the countryside. Gas is much cheaper these days. Fall is showing up much later this year. Roses blooming in November. Well, I picked tomatoes from the garden this week. It's so unseasonable these days.
beautiful.
Wow.
Thank you.
Beautiful and certainly
Timely.
timely.
Yeah.
Yeah, please give us another one, Tret.
Okay, I'll go out with this one. This is from the new CD. It's the last song on the CD because it's pure rock and roll. So I had to put it at the end so the folk DJs won't turn it off.
Don't scare them.
No, it's called Across the Room. I can't hear you from across the room, and I can't see you from across the room. How can I feel you from across the room? Across the room. I can't hold you across the room, and I can barely find you across the room. It's impossible to hold your hand across the room, across the room. Is this the new norm? Not my normal, not my choice, not my room. I don't want to live so far from you and only get to see you on Zoom. I was getting comfortable next to you. All my life I've wanted to be next to you. Now I can't even walk over to be next to you. You're across the room. At least I can sing to you across the room, and you can tell me stories from across the room. But I wish that I could hug you from across the room, across the room. For me it's inconvenient when people are crying. The magnitude is brutal, people are dying, trying to be truthful while others are lying, and I only want to see you. Is this the new norm? Not my normal, not my choice, not my room. I don't want to live so far from you and only get to see you on Zoom.
Great.
That is so
And it had to be rock and roll too.
very
Great choice.
so
Great
great.
choice.
Oh, Tret, thank you for sharing
Oh,
your
thank you.
artistry, your stories with us tonight.
Thank you for having me on. Really, I appreciate it so much.
Oh, what a pleasure.
I hope that some folks were introduced to your music,
Yeah,
and some old friends got to see you. And thanks to everybody who sent us donations. We'll be sending you some money, Tret. I will.
Cool. Pay for
I
my
will
tires.
send
Help
you
pay
some.
for my tires.
Yep, we're working on the tires. Thank you all so much, and I guess well that's the show, folks.
Should we let Tret go
Yeah,
and tell him a little
we got
bit
a
about
couple
next?
announcements, but we'll let you
Okay.
off into
Well,
the
thank
night,
We
Tret.
won't make
so
you
much,
suffer
everybody.
through them.
Thank you. Thanks,
Oh,
Tret.
yeah, Tret, a
Okay.
pleasure,
Wonderful
man.
to
Just
see
I
you.
love you.
Pleasure's all
and,
mine. Love you too. Love you too.
Love
Thank
you.
you so
All right.
much.
See ya.
Bye. Thank you, Tret Fure. Thanks everybody for watching tonight. Freebo and I just want to tell you, I don't need these anymore. A little bit about what we've got coming up. So next Wednesday we have a wonderful duo called Ordinary Elephant coming on the show, and you will definitely remember that band name. It's one of the best I've heard. And they are a husband and wife duo, Pete and Crystal. Just beautiful songs, beautiful duets, harmonies, and instrumentation. So we're really excited to have them coming in from Louisiana. They'll be online with us next Wednesday, the 16th.
The week after that, on this show, it's going to be Alice and I interviewing each other.
Yes.
Which will be very interesting. We've never done that.
Why not?
We'll play more music.
Yeah. But before that, actually, just between the next 2 Wednesdays, we want you to know that we are doing a special holiday show that's totally separate from Inside Live, but it's going to be a ticketed online event, and the tickets are through a wonderful venue that we're working with called Ethical Brew. They're based in New Jersey, and we've done shows with them in person, and they're supporting us for this show and helping get the word out. But we'd love for you guys to know about it too. The tickets start at $15, and we've put together some different tiers of pricing. So like if you pay $25 for your tickets, you can come to a little Zoom after party that we're going to do where we can answer questions and actually see each other. So that'll be really fun.
Be in the same room, so to speak.
Yeah, and like you'll see when you go. So go to ethicalbrew.org. I will put that as a caption here.
BREW.
Ethicalbrew.org, and the show is on 12/19, Saturday 12/19.
And we're going to do some Christmas songs, some Christmas music, some holiday music. I will bring out the tuba for that. It's just going to be Alice and me, and there'll be almost all music. So, because in these shows, obviously, we enjoy doing them. There's a lot of talking, and there's a special guest. But for those of you who want to hear more of what we do together, a real concert.
In front of a Christmas tree.
That's right, Christmas tree.
So
and a blinking light tuba, right?
Yep. All of the above.
Christmas tuba.
Yeah, so it'll be really fun. That's on Saturday, 12/19. I look at ethicalbrew.org, and that will take you to the ticket link where you can choose whether you want to do the $15 kind of base level price, or if you want to go up from there. We have some even higher tiers where we're giving away things like CDs and handwritten lyrics and different fun stuff like that.
And a portion of the proceeds from that show.
Portion of the proceeds from that show will go to Stacey Abrams' organization Fair Fight, which is a nonpartisan organization that's really about getting folks registered to vote in Georgia. So we're really proud to be supporting them, her work on that.
We all want free and fair and honest elections, right? No matter what side you're on. Both sides are talking about it. Let's do it. Let's give every person the right to vote. I mean, many people have died for that right.
Yes, sorry, that's coffee, very important what you were saying.
We got to give away.
We actually have 2 winners because they picked the
same number.
The number was 76, and we have 2 folks who chose 77. So Don Greenwood, our buddy Don.
Oh, Don, all right.
Hi, Don, and also Steve Noonan. So both Don Greenwood and Steve Noonan picked the closest numbers. We will figure out how to get both of you a bag of coffee, because the more the merrier.
Hey, we'll do that.
All right,
Steve,
you guys.
I know you. Good to hear from you.
Yeah,
Thanks for watching.
I do know you.
Yeah,
I feel like I know you too.
Yeah, I think he's a singer-songwriter.
Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Norms. Thank you, Sharon, Jeff,
Jeff,
Brett.
always great to have you.
I'm seeing all these wonderful comments coming in. Sorry, the top of my head is cut off.
Thank you, Mary.
Sorry about the sync issues. I don't know what's going on. I'll try to figure it out for next time. We love you guys. Thanks for bearing with us.
Keep tuning in. Tell your friends about the show. We love doing it. We hope you enjoy it too. Hopefully your friends will enjoy it as well. Bye everybody.